All right. I think
Okay,
we're live.
absolutely. Let's go.
Do we do we have a way of knowing? I'm not exactly certain.
I have a live button right in the bottom of my screen here that says we're live.
Well, welcome everybody to Fall in Love with Your Life, Day One. My special guest is Ed Bracy with Ed Bracy Coaching and Synergy of Empowered Women. And he has his arms around all kinds of great causes and messages that he is sharing with the world and helping to empower us and make the world a better place. So, say hello, Ed.
Hi, how are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm doing so good. This is so much fun. And, Ed and I did a podcast a little while ago, and
Yes, we did.
that was, we were learning the technology around podcasts at that time. And now we're
Absolutely.
learning new technology around Facebook
Yes, we
Live.
are.
And you're not in the same place. I'm in Tennessee and you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, actually, South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's right.
Yes, right across the border.
Okay, so what the program about is about this week? Fall in love with your life, the holy trinity of pulling all the different parts of living a joyous and amazing life together into a life that you can truly say every day that I love living this life. The first is our spirit and our connection with the power that's beating our hearts and with the source that made us and the source that creates worlds. And that's what Ed and I are going to talk about. And then tomorrow we'll get into relationships and how we interact with other human beings on the planet with my special guest, Rachel Gilmore. And then on Thursday, Valerie Larson will be with us to talk about the physical parts of being a human being, of being a divine person, a divine being having a human experience, and how the world around us, the things that we put in our bodies and on our bodies, and then we'll wrap everything up on Friday. So, Ed, you are all about
Yeah.
spirit. You're one of the most spiritual people that I know. Um, so thank you in advance for being here with us. And
Sure.
what's the very first thing that you would like to tell people about the importance of being in touch with this side of your nature?
Well, the first thing I will confess is that I fought this side of my life for years.
Mhm.
Fought it. Had many of those one-on-one God arguments, the ones that you never win. Okay. Because I
Yep.
had my own agenda, I had my own checklist, I had my own timeline, and finally got to the point where my stuff really wasn't working anymore. Okay, and
Right.
I had to reboot my life. And during that reboot, I've connected with and reconnected with some of the greatest people that you could ever imagine. Give you an example. Um, when you and I connected last year, that came as a result of a question I got from a 9-year-old. I was sitting in Virginia in the living room of my classmate Linwood, he and his wife Kimberly, in their home, and their grandson was playing a video game. And he looked over his shoulder and he said, "Eddie, let me ask you a question. How can I show people how to play this game on TV and have a split screen so they can see me talking and also see me play the game at the same time?" I said, "Boy, that's a great question." He said, "Yeah, Gramps said that you would probably have the answer." I did not have the answer. So I compartmentalized that and I said, that is worth seeking the answer for. So I started calling people and then I called you. And
Mhm.
I never forget what you said. You said, "This is what I'm learning how to do, but I'm doing it with no money." That's the best way to learn. So you can always go out and pay someone to do something for you, but the best way for you to learn and to advance is to do it on your own. So that's what we did. We did our podcast together. I did podcasts with Lisa Peterson and several other up and coming women in business and entrepreneurship. And I tracked them over a 6 week to 8 week period. And they gave me what their current goals were. And in 8 weeks, they had exceeded their goals. And I believe what happened in that podcast is they stated what they wanted and that put it out into the universe and brought in what they needed to take them to the next level. So great lesson learned for me. Okay.
Right.
So my thing is this: instead of having this ultimate confidence in me, which I do have, okay, my ultimate confidence is in God and the spirit realm, how that all comes together. You can swim upstream pretty long time, but eventually you're going to get tired. But if you're going with the current, you can float. You can just lay back and go with the flow of the current. And I've learned the key to life is to go with the flow. Now you have to discern where that flow is, where it's going, who's in that flow with you, who is not in that flow with you, okay? And approach everything from a standpoint of love. That's the other thing I realize. You must do it from love.
Yeah, everything, every single thing is either an expression of or a plea for love. And if you live your life in that manner, then you never get mad at anybody. So the biggest, most fundamental message in my coaching practice and the things that I teach are having a vision, because the universe, we all speak different languages. We all say different words. Words mean different things to different people, but images and vibration and this is the universal language that the universe can understand. Mm-hmm. So, and when you have created that picture for your life of how you look, how you feel, who you're hanging out with, how you feel about them, what kind of home do you live in, what kind of job do you have, what kind of work do you do, how do you feel? And when you make a picture, make a vision of this dream life for yourself, then the universe, God, is right there as your cheerleader bringing you all of those things. Absolutely. And talk to us about how our listeners can go about. A lot of us as human beings feel very, very alone. We feel like we're creating this world. We're doing the things that are happening, and we are disconnected from one another and from God. Give us some advice about how we can reestablish that connection.
Okay. The first thing to recognize in everyone's life is that we all have gifts. You have to determine what your gift is. Some people are servants. They do things for people constantly, and that's just their gift. They make things happen. There are other people who are administrators. They get resources that are put in their hands, and they in turn use those resources to, make a business successful, help an organization that needs help, that type of thing. There are people who have what I call the love gift. They want everyone to feel loved, and they're assigned to a family, a group, a neighborhood, a city. They are all about love, okay? There are people that are exhorters. My mother was an exhorter. These are people who want you to do better in life. They don't want you to stay in the same place. But the thing that's unique about an exhorter, they're not like people with the love gift. People with the love gift, they're going to wrap you with love and just make you feel good. Exhorters will slap you on the backside if you need it. Okay? That's how they are.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also, along that same line of love, there are people who have the gift of compassion. Compassion is a love gift, but it has wheels and wings, and there's a boat underneath it. You go to where that person is who needs that love, and that's my gift. And I fought that gift for years. I mean, I'm a 6'2", 210-pound black guy. What do I look like hugging up on people and loving on people? Come on now. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? This is what you put in me? Okay. And finally, I just said, okay, I'm done fighting with this. And ever since that day, my life has opened up to a totally different perspective. I love being on the scene with people when, this is what I normally hear. I didn't know what I was going to do, and here you are. And I have exactly what they needed. Not from my own thought, but from what I receive and hear, and I get it. And I remember years ago, I heard a guy on TV say the best decision he ever made in his life was to be that vehicle to bring whatever a person needs to go to the next level and just surrendering to that. And I said, that is so cool. I'm going to try that prayer. So I did. And that's been the quest that I've been on. And up until about a month ago, I've always been a coach. I'm a nurturer. I'm an encourager. I want to see people do better. I want that. But I thought that would be where I'd be for the rest of my life. And I went to a meeting, got dragged to this meeting. Okay, didn't want to go. And I realized halfway through this meeting, my life made a major change. Not so much to the left or to the right, but deeper into that gift. And this is what I discovered. You, I, all these other folks out here in the world, we already have the things inside us to be successful. But the difference between where we are now and where we want to go is called empowerment. There's something that's missing. It could be training. It could be an introduction to someone. It could be a course that they need to take. It could be travel, which gives you great enrichment, But whatever that thing is, that's what gets us to the next level. And I was sitting in this meeting with people, and this is what they do. And I realized something. That's what I do also. Okay.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, it opened up a whole new scope for me. So your listeners may not know this, but I'm co-founder of an organization called Synergy of Empowered Women. Ellen Grutzmacher and myself started this in February of 2014. She shared an idea with me that women should have the same type of support system as guys do. See, I've been fortunate in my business career. I had 8 distinct mentors. Each one taught me a different aspect of business. And I didn't learn it in a classroom. I picked it up on the golf course, in a car ride, walking down the street together, or out on a resort, just kind of hanging out. And it was all good stuff. And I know that women support each other. Yes, they do. But from a business standpoint, you don't find that same support that guys give to each other. So it was Ellen's idea to do that for women. And I said, that's fantastic. And she said, I want to take women to the next level. But first of all, you have to get them engaged. I said, well, what you want to do is create synergy. Why don't you call the organization Synergy of Empowered Women? And she said, oh, that's awesome. So we both took different paths to grow the organization. She did the website. She did the logo. She did most of the early artwork. And I did the social media. And since that day, we now have about 3,000 followers, okay, worldwide. We have a huge following in the UK, Indonesia, also here in the States, of course. But now I realize to further empower women at this point, we need to have on-site meetings. So that's what I'm gearing towards now. And summits, weekly events, regional events, that type of thing, where we can bring in women like yourself, like Rachel, like Valerie, who are powerful teachers and have been through the experiences of life, that they can talk with authority, okay, and offer that wisdom and that encouragement to women. And I'll just be on backstage, do your thing, because I realize once you have the right platform and the right spotlight, you can be a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm headed right now.
Cool. All right. So what you said first, and I'm being our engineer here at the same time. So everybody that I noticed that Valerie was here. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to see you. And if you have any questions, anything for Ed or myself that you would like us to cover during the broadcast, please just let us know.
Absolutely.
That's really what we want to do, is interact with you, live and in person here. So that you talked about each of us having a different gift.
Yes.
Some of us are, let me do this. Okay, here we go. How would you recommend that we go about discovering what that gift is?
Okay.
Yes.
It's fairly simple. Okay. There's two things that you can do internally. Number one, if there's something that just enthuses you, that you would do for your life for free, okay? And you don't need to be paid for it. That is one indication of what your gift is. The other is if there's a cause that you would give your life for. That is another indication of your gift. Now, practical, you can go right online and Google spiritual gifts test, and there are tests that you can take that will tell you where you have your greatest, strengths, which is cool, For me, it's always been like a quest. I want to know how I can be better at what I do. So I'm always reading, studying, meditating. I meditate every day, pray every day. And that connection gives me that green light in my spirit to let me know that I'm on the right path. Now, what's interesting is sometimes during those times of meditation, I see things I don't really want to see, okay? But those are things to help me understand my relationship with someone. I don't know what they've been through. I just know them at this point in life. And sometimes I'm shown things about people and it really changes my perspective and I get greater respect. Cancer survivors, people who survive domestic violence, neglect, child abuse, they have scars, and oftentimes those scars have not been healed. So they live a life of, not fully engaged because of their past. And it's unfortunate, but they can still be reached with love just like everybody else. It just takes maybe a little bit more time, a little bit more engagement, but it can also be done. So I highly encourage everyone, find out what your gift is. And also, you may have more than one. Some people have several, and they function and flow in each one. When you speak with Rachel, her gift is love. She's one of the few people on planet Earth that when I connect with her, I just feel that love, okay? Valerie, she's a person of an energy that is just, I like to plug in and get my batteries charged, But I know that's the basis of their gifts. And I celebrate that essence, I really do. Tell you a quick story. Back in the day when I first moved back here to the Carolinas from DC, and my son was small, before I got myself a job, I did substitute teaching, okay? And one of the classes that they assigned me to was special education. And I loved special education. And in fact, my mother, who at the time was a hairdresser, she did most of the teachers' hair, okay? She said so many people commented that when I had that class, it was the quietest they had ever heard that class. And the kids would always leave smiling and happy and, just engaged with the class instead of fighting against this, fighting against that, trying to make a display, that kind of thing. And I realized a lot of people just need that love connection. You know what I'm saying? They just need someone to sit in their wheelhouse, to say that they're valuable, to listen and be authentic about that. Okay. And it's just amazing how that can turn someone's perspective in their life around. Make sense?
Yeah, it does completely. And it actually reminds me of a really neat, here's Donnie, the kitty cat named Adonis has decided to join our broadcast.
Well, you know I like animals.
Yes, absolutely. You got Lola there with you. There's a story from African tribal. Actually, it's not a story. It's true. An African tribal custom called the Song of the Soul. Mm-hmm. And what this says is that each individual soul has their own song. And mm-hmm. when a woman decides that she wants to have a baby, she will go and meditate. You touched on meditation. You said, and get an answer. So she'll meditate until she hears the song of the soul of her child. Mm. And then she goes back and teaches the song to her mate. And they make love and they sing the song and they use the song to invite the spirit of the child into their life. So after the woman conceives and as her pregnancy progresses, the song is taught to the other women and to the midwives of the tribe. And so every time the woman is cared for and examined, they're singing the song of the soul of this child. And then as the time of the birth approaches, they sing they teach the song to the entire village. And when the child is born, the whole village celebrates with this child's unique song. Wow. And then they use this to mark all the important events of their lives, their birthdays, their manhood or womanhood ceremonies, their weddings, even their funerals. But the neatest part is if this young person gets in trouble for any reason, by misbehaving, breaking rules, whatever, not complying with the laws of the tribe, instead of punishing them, the child is surrounded by the village and they all sing his song to him until he is put back on his path, until he is reminded of who he truly is and truly connected with the divine creature that he is. So, there's not punishment, there's not judgments, there's just, bringing you back into the fold with love and reminding you of your highest self. I just think that it's an incredible way that human beings are sharing and bolstering each other's spiritual. Now, you said another thing. As you were talking, I thought of all kinds of points that I wanted to make and questions that I wanted to ask you. Meditation and prayer are such a huge part of what we teach as well. Thomas Edison had a practice where he would sit in a rocking chair, and his peers and friends made fun of him for this, but there is no question that God doesn't have the answer for. There's always an answer. If there's a question, there's an answer. So he would sit in a rocking chair, he would hold a rock in his hand and hold his hand over a metal bucket, and he would ask the question that he was trying to solve and ask the universe what that was. And he would sit in meditation and listen for that answer. And the rock was for in case he fell asleep, it would fall out of his hand, hit the iron and wake him up. So he called this the land of the solution. Do you have any techniques that you teach that help us to learn to strengthen that connection with that part where all the answers are?
Absolutely. In fact, you just hit a home run.
Okay.
I'm going to share with you the two best secrets that were ever shared with me.
Okay.
As you said, the answer is there. The key is asking the right question. So whenever I get stuck, I do one of three things. Well, sometimes I do a couple of them. I will ask, what do I do next? Okay. And then I zip my lips and I keep on about my day or whatever. And eventually I discover what it is I'm supposed to do next. That's one. Now, if you want to get more specific, this is the one that has shocked me. This question is, show me what I don't know that I should know. And I sit on that one. And you talk about seeing some things that you're like, whoa, do I really want to see this? That one has opened up a lot of insight in my spirit. Now, the other thing is this. I have three friends that I trust them with my life. Okay. If I'm ever at a place that I just want a little bit more clarity, I will ask them to pray for me and let me know what they sense. I don't tell them what's going on. I don't give them the specifics. I say, just pray for me and let me know. I did this when I found out years ago that I had thyroid cancer. And all three came back within 48 hours and said, you're going to live a long time. You don't have to worry about that. And sure enough, as it turned out, the cancer was benign. And, the reason it was so heavy on my spirit is I had lost my son to cancer and my mother to cancer. Okay. So I figured, okay, 3, that was number 3. And I had all those things pulling on my mind and in my spirit. So I went to my 3 friends and asked them to pray for me. And sure enough, everybody got the same message that I was getting. See, I was afraid I wasn't getting the proper message. I didn't have the confidence. So I went to 3 people I know, prayed just like I did. Some of them a couple of times more than me. Okay. But that is one thing you can definitely, 3 things you can definitely do to get yourself centered properly and back in that right state of mind, right state of spirit. See, there's people out there who 24/7 are praying about different things. I normally, I do my morning prayer, my morning meditation, but there are times I get awakened at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've got someone on my spirit, and I just I can't go to sleep. It's just like I've been sleeping for a whole night, and now I have enough energy, I can just take off. And I've actually gone many, many hours in prayer for people sometimes. And that's not who Ed was, okay? This is something that I got called to. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to flow with this, follow with this. And as a result of that, it developed into a deeper relationship with my spiritual connection. And see, that's the thing. A lot of times we think, okay, promotion means going higher, moving here, moving there. I'm here to tell you the best promotion is when we go deeper, when we have a deeper understanding of where things are going, when we have a deeper understanding of who the people are in our lives, so we can in turn engage them properly as they should be engaged, not as everyone else is engaging them, but how they should be engaged. I've had conversations with friends and something will pop in my head and I'll say that and they just go, whoa, how did you know that? And I didn't. I'm just listening and then giving feedback. I had a conversation with someone once and I said, can I ask you a question? And they said, yeah. I said, what does the color orange have to do with this conversation? And she went, whoa. Oh my God. So apparently that was something powerful connected in her life. So interesting how those things come about. Yeah.
Right.
Orange, the color orange. I've never asked anybody that. Yeah.
Just popped into your head.
Yeah, just popped in my head. Yeah.
All right.
I have several friends who will tell you I seem to reach out and contact them right when they need contact. And they'll say things to me like, how did you know? And I tell them I didn't. I just felt that tug to reach out to you,
Listen to your heart.
Yeah.
And the more you practice doing that, the better you get at it. And the more you understand that still small voice has something very important to say to you, and you make an effort to turn on your listening skills and learn how to listen, then those are the things that happen. Okay, cool. Well, I wanted to kind of keep this around 30 minutes, but did you have anything else that you wanted to add before I run through all?
Yeah, I do. I wanted to say I'm so thankful, number one, for the opportunity to speak with you and also to prepare you for what you have coming in the next 2 days. You're going to be speaking with two of the most genuine, authentic people that I know. And I know they're both spiritual because I've been with them and seen them when they hear things. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, their attention will be distracted by something. And it's just amazing. I look at them, they look at me, and I'm like, oh, you know something. And I adore that because it lets me know that we share that gift. Okay. And I just look forward to more people experiencing Valerie and Rachel. And in turn, you having a greater engagement with them also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the introduction to Rachel and Valerie, and I do just adore them already, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to know them more. All right, so the purpose of this broadcast today and for the whole week is to give everybody listening a place to go based on your personal, you want your next step to be. So go and check out. I've put the links in this comment down here, and I'm going to go back when we're finished to make sure that everything is in place. But go check out Synergy of Empowered Women, Ed's organization. Check out Ed Bracy Coaching on his Facebook page or edbracycoaching.com, and so see if he has a place that fit you in there to get a closer connection with him. And then I've also put the link for my Life Mastery class that is starting on July 5th. Mm-hmm. This is an amazing opportunity to be in a system of structure and to interact with me as your coach every week. We meet at 11:30 on Tuesdays, and all the classes are recorded. So if you can't make it at that time, you can always listen back to the recording. But if you go to the link, the Life Mastery class link on my website, there's a video that will tell you all about it. There's written descriptions that you can read about it. And if you're not quite ready to make the leap into that, sign up for a free strategy session and let's get together and talk about what might be the next best step for you. Or if you just want to kind of stay close to the work and think about it a little bit more, we have a free Facebook group that we've just started that is a place where we can all get together and share our ideas and our questions. And there'll be several coaches that are in there. So you have 24/7 access to a coach and, a way to get your questions answered right away. So no matter where you are on your journey and what your level of desire for assistance is, we've got something for you. Got something that will help, and even private coaching programs with myself or with Ed or with Rachel, who's coming up tomorrow. So we are so happy that you're here, and we hope that you will share this video with people that you love or think that you might like it. Always give us a like or a love or a
Exactly. And we love emojis.
We love emojis.
That's right. Give me emojis.
Yeah. Okay, Ed, anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Well, the one thing I would like to say is I look forward to having all of you on stage, speaking to women and encouraging and empowering them. And that is my goal. Okay?
All right, we're there, aren't we, empowered women? Yeah. All right, my sweet. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.